Good afternoon. I am just making this video to expand on what was talked about in my first video. The video wasn't me talking in the background, it was actually somebody else's video, so I can't take credit for it. But his YouTube page is called Super Luminous. It's one word, the S and the L are capitalized, and he's got a bunch of videos expounding on what it means to spill your blood on your intent. And then he talks about sun gazing and earthing. This is what earthing is to me. I call it planting your feet in the dirt. He talks about walking on dirt for 45 minutes a day, but here's what it looks like the way I do it. Hopefully you can see that. And then sun gazing is just staring at the sun. You start out 10 seconds a day, and then you increase it by 10 seconds every day. It's best to start, if you've never done it before, it's best to start within an hour of sunrise or an hour of sunset, because the UV rays are at their lightest. But once you do it for a while, you can do it anytime during the day. It's just early afternoon right now, and I'm doing it off and on while I'm making this video. But I want you to be able to hear me, so I'm putting my phone right up to my mouth. Super Luminous, he's real excited, and it's like he's got a cure for a incurable disease. And so he gets real excited, and he does ramble and he does talk really fast. So this is a complimentary video to his basic theme on his videos. I'll try to slow it down so people can understand just a little bit more. It's not the first time I've heard these things, so that's why I was so convinced to follow his advice, to spill my blood on my intent. And I've already been sun gazing for 2 years and earthing, or planting my feet in the dirt, for a year. So his concepts were already normalized in my mind. However, the first time I heard them, they sounded kind of weird, but I'm kind of used to the concept by now. So anyways, what he means by what he means by spilling your blood on your intent, we both believe that we live on a slave planet, and energy vampires, they kind of structure society in a way where we get all our energy from the sun, and then we give off our energy to what he calls the black cube. So we're like batteries that if you want to say the devil or whoever is sucking off our energy. That they created this world, and there's ways that you can get out of it. There's ways that you can set yourself free. When you die, you don't necessarily have to go towards the light. It's like a vacuum. Once you get too close, it sucks you in. It takes you to a Club Med where it feels great, and you get to decide all the experiences you want to go through in the next life. And then right before they zap you into a womb, they zap your memory so you don't remember anything. So what you can do is, when you die, don't go towards the light, go away from the light, try to make it out of the matrix, if you will, and go back to one with source. And one of the ways you can do that, you can help yourself to do that in this life, is by sun gazing, by earthing, or planting your feet in the dirt like I'm doing right now, and also spilling your blood on your intent. Now what I did in that first video was I pricked my finger and I wrote on that piece of paper, I worship all and exclude none, and I intend to create a heaven on earth. And then I signed it me, and also signed it with my blood. So that's what he's talking about, and that's what I'm doing while I'm listening to one of his videos explain it. And that's basically his premise. So hopefully I've cleared that up for you and you can understand it. Hopefully that lawnmower next door wasn't too loud. I had to put my dog inside because she attacked the lawnmower like she tends to do. But anyways, that's exactly what he's talking about. And I realize this is kind of a unique concept if you've never heard it before. So do your own research. Look stuff up. There's plenty of people on the internet, on YouTube, that talk about these themes. There was a guy last year, his name was Jordan, he was from Florida, Central Florida, and he ended up getting kicked off YouTube for I don't know what reason. I had to change his name a couple times. But anyways, he talked about the exact same themes. He talks about a lot of weird stuff. I don't know how much of it was true and how much of it was not true. But he had a lot of good advice. In fact, so good that he ended up getting kicked off YouTube altogether. And so if you're familiar with him, if you know who I'm talking about, you're already familiar with this. So some people who are not familiar with it, they are gonna think it's just crazy, but I don't think it is crazy. I've thought some of these things that Super Luminous talks about for a while now. It's hard for him to stay. Quiet or calm, cool, and collected when he's discussing these topics, because he's trying to get the message out. And according to Super Luminous and his research, the more people that spill their blood on their intent, the more people who sun gaze and earthing, or planting your feet in the dirt like I'm doing right now, the more people that do that, the better chance we have to create a heaven on earth. And I think we would all benefit from that. And when he says, you only have to write those two sentences, I worship all and I exclude none. We all worship Satan/Saturn, whether we do intentionally or not. It's kind of it's part of our society, it's part of our culture, it's part of our language. For example, when you say I believe or I have belief in this, the lie is in the middle of that. So it's like a lot of things are backwards. So you automatically, without even intentionally or knowingly or voluntarily doing it, you're worshiping Saturn/Satan. So we are trying to reverse that hex, and so that's why we worship all and exclude none. Now, if you have like a Christian background or Islamic background or whatever, and you wish to clarify that statement by saying something like, I see the divinity in all living things, something like that, so be it. Personalize it, make it however you want, however you feel comfortable with it. But the only thing that's necessary is I worship all and exclude none. I intend to create a heaven on earth. That's all that's necessary. Sign it with your blood. And you have to put it on YouTube, on your own channel. It's like a notice to the cube, as Super Luminous calls it, that you are no longer one of their brainwashed zombies. So that's just, I know I had one comment on my video where somebody says to slow down, and they're not talking to me, they're talking to Super Luminous, whose video is playing while I'm doing my thing. So hopefully that explains it, and hopefully more of you will feel directed to do the same thing so we can create a heaven on earth. Thank you. Have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you next time. Peace.